Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. I'm Real King, and I'm back at it again, y'all. And what exactly am I back at again in this video? Well, let's see. Today was a good day for me today. I didn't have anything planned. I had some ideas, but I just kind of like went with the flow. I kept it real simple actually, on purpose. And so I went into town, went out and kind of chilled at the park for a little bit and had a good experience with one of my cigars that I got. So that's really what kind of like set the tone for my day. And then I knew that, I didn't want to be doing a lot of stuff. I didn't have a lot to do. And I wanted to be back, early enough to kind of do some things that I wanted to do and stuff like that. And I was meaning to be back early in the afternoon, which I was. And so, but before that, I needed to make a pit stop at the grocery store and get some last minute things just for the week and all that, being that I'm now in the mindset fully of saving up and things like that, because I got my equipment for my channel. So that's the main reason why I say it like that. So now I can, I'm really focusing on saving up a lot of money. So I needed, for the month of June, I needed at least $1,000. That was my goal, to basically end the year out, the last 6 months, with at least 6,000 saved up. So that's my ideal. That was ideally what I wanted to do, with some things not allowing that to happen because of my training and less hours I was working to start my my new job. So what I've been doing is kind of doing my normal job and then going to the plasma place to donate. Now, for me, donating plasma is a means of having extra money. Semi side hustle. It's not really a hustle, but it's extra cash on the side. But I am being honest, I don't like being stuck with needles, and so it kind of becomes a burden on me. And then you mix that or add that with the place that I go to and all of the corruption that I find being there, all the long waits just to get in and get out. It really, it really kind of takes its toll on me mentally. And so I really thought that I would only do that until I kind of got to a point where I felt comfortable that I had enough money saved up to where I didn't feel I needed to go to donate as a means of helping me out financially. And so that's why I was really focusing on saving the money, not, as a whole, because there were other things that go in that play into my, money saving and spending. And so I had to adjust a few things in my normal life for those things to happen. And it didn't happen right away because of whatever reasons, some things didn't manifest early enough. So as I'm continuously working to save money, I'm also figuring out ways that I can do that and allow myself my saving to stretch longer. And one way that I do that is from keeping away from sites that involve me spending money, especially right now with the holiday coming up or whatever. There's all these sales, and these sales are tempting, especially when you have money. And so it's like, well, I have money, I can get this stuff. I don't normally have money to buy these things that, or whatever. See, that's fine thinking if you're not planning the plans that I'm planning. So you can do that comfortably or whatever. But for me, I know that that's not a good deal. That's not a good idea. And I don't want to give in to weakness, temptation. And so I have chosen to stay away from those sites. Usually I'll kind of just go, I have to a minimal degree. Like eBay, there's things that I'm that I can get that are for things that are necessary for me, like, my camera equipment and things like that. And then there's other small things that I'm looking at, things for my bike, locks and, stuff like that. So, and what I do with places like that is I put stuff in my cart or my wish list, there's no commitment there. And, it's just something that, whenever I do have the means that I want to do that, I can go back into those areas if they are still available and see about, but I'm not one to, to get carried away and focus on those things. Like if they are sold, then they're sold. I'm not going to, it's just something that a note, and stuff like that. So anyways, keeping myself away from those kind of sites. And then knowing, like what I did recently today was, I'm like, okay, I assessed my situation as far as my food. Now I know that next week I go back to work for 3 days. So I have enough dinner food for right now. I have macaroni and cheese, I have burritos and chimichangas. So I have literally enough dinner meals to get me through to next week. Lunch is iffy, depending on. I have meat. I have stuff for sandwiches, except I need to get some mayonnaise. I forgot to get that today. Miracle Whip. And I just bought cereal, and I have enough milk. So the milk and the cereal will definitely last me through next week easily. So really the only lacking area that I could see myself doing, and I said to myself, like, okay, I'm only going to go to the store to get the things that I need and maybe a little bit more when I go there. I only spent $20, so that was good. So maybe on Sunday when I will assess my situation again, because that's the beginning of the week, and I want to see exactly where I'm at, At that point, I consider what I'm going to do is just topping stuff off. What that means for me in my situation is, okay, I only have 3-4 days. I have 3 days of work ahead of me. So I have to have enough food every meal to get me through work. So that way I don't have to spend money on food when I go to work. So whatever it is I need for the work, for me going to work, that's lunches and that's it. Breakfast and lunches mainly. Then that's what I need to get. Just enough. I don't need to go all overboard, So if I can allow my stuff I have right now to last me, like not overeating what I have, then that should last me at least till Sunday. And then at Sunday, then I can just get, whatever I need for the week. And that's all I need to do. And that's all I'm going to do. By doing that, that is actually helping me. So I'm not overeating. I know what I have, and I'm not going to go over that. And I know what I have is primarily meant for my work week and all that. So that is how I'm going to be able to save money by not spending more than I need. And so I also kind of figured out, because I know that I didn't work all this week. So that's 1 week worth of pay that I'm not going to get. But the thing is, going back to work next week, I do work 3 days, but then we have 2 days worth of meetings, both Thursday and Friday, and they are only 5 hours apiece. So that is going to end that whole work week. The good thing about that is my 3 days worth of work plus the 2 5 days so it's going to equal out to about 38 hours, which is it's roughly a day and a half less than what we would normally work. No, it'd be more than that. 10 hours. It's roughly, about 2 days short. About 2 days short on that paycheck. And so, but every little bit helps. For me, that paycheck is very important because that goes for my rent. So that pay period that paycheck falls on will be for my rent. Now, this is what I was debating and hoping I would not have to do. So with me donating tomorrow, 1 day, and then 2 days for next week, At first, I thought I needed to donate to cover my rent, but I don't have to worry about that at all. So actually, I don't even need to donate anymore after tomorrow if I don't want to. That's the big thing, because I tallied up my hours and kind of did a mock general idea of what I should be getting paid, and I should come out almost $200, a little under $200 more than my rent is. Perfect. I add that to what I have already saved, which is a good amount. I haven't spent much money. Plus, I have been donating. So that's been good. I've been very good with, I could have saved some money a little bit more than I have. I've been a little bit splurgy, but, I made a good amount, so it wasn't a big dent. And so adding that extra from that paycheck next week to what I already have for this week. And then the big one is the end of this month roundup. So after next week, it's 2 full weeks of work. That is huge. And I'm going to definitely work if I can work till 4:30, I'm going to work. If there's a way for me to work till 4:30, I'm definitely going to do that, because that would give me 10 hours of work. And if I can get 60 hours in 2 weeks, that would be big. And I'm saying that, one, because it would be. Number two, because there's somewhere in the month of August where we're going to be basically getting our hours reduced, like for 2 straight weeks. I don't know how reduced it's going to be, but it will be reduced. My thing is, I hope it's not too bad. I mean, I'm okay with, as long as I have, enough for my rent, because I don't really want to be going into my savings to cover a bill like that. And it wouldn't be big, but, it wouldn't be a lot, but still, I really want to be able to, keep my savings and, but anyway, so yeah, so when I figured out when I kind of did a mock, just a general estimate of how much altogether I would have accumulated or been able to save by the first week of August, would be about $1,400, a little bit over 14 to be exact, give or take. And that's huge. That is huge. There's only 2 bills that I need to pay between now and then, besides my rent. And that's my $25 phone bill and my premium for my insurance, which is roughly, it's like a little over $23, $23.08. And that's it. So, I have my cigar subscription that's coming in also next Friday. And so wait, do they already bill that? I forgot. I gotta check that. Anyways, that's $38 for that. And then I have my subscription for my cologne for, was it fragrance.net? I don't know which scent I'm gonna get. If it's the premium one, it's gonna be an extra 14, so that should be like 20 some. Anyways, my point is, I don't have a lot of big bills coming up. That's gonna be like dipping into savings a lot. It's very, minimal at that, so that's good. So why that's a big deal for me now, that would be at the end. That's how much I would have accumulated by August. So that puts that at roughly, that's, I'm very under my amount that I needed to have saved up by then, because by the end of August, I should have about 3. And I may not be too far off. I shouldn't be too far off. So I should have close to 3 is fine. That is fine. Now I have some other ideas going on in my head that I'm like, wait a minute. I'm only thinking about one thing. Remember, I have been also looking into remote work, and there's a lot of stuff. I found a YouTuber that had basically made a video on all these remote jobs and places that are always hiring, and I'm just like, wait a minute, so this could be something that I do, even if it's only locally, like even if it's only in the States. It's something that I can do now that can help me save up money quicker, and I can add that as a second income. And so, like with my days off that I have, I'm like, well, dang, I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days off. I can, do something where it's, even if it's only a part-time hours or whatever like that, that's fine. Make it to where I'm working 5 days and have 2 days completely free. That would be great. But my main thing is having, more income to be able to save up quicker and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be getting on the ball with that, and checking out my options and seeing, applying myself. Why wait when you don't have to? So yeah, so those are some things that I'm going to be doing. I went ahead and kind of figured out my gimbal. I haven't been working on it too much today. I'm watching some tutorials on that, getting everything set up. I have it all activated, and things are all set up on the phone. But I was charging up everything and then checking out some tutorials just to get a good idea of how to use it with my Android device. And then I've just been taking some steps, y'all, trying to improve. I'm serious about my channel, and it's a business. And so, with any business, if you want it to succeed and you want it to thrive and you want it to grow, you invest, you put into your company, and what you put into it is what you get back, And so the more you put in, the more the more effort, the more time and focus and attention that you put towards your business, small or big, you'll get those results back, and if you're doing it honestly and you're putting your heart into it, then I feel and believe that honesty and good will come back to you, because it's what you're putting that effort into your creation. And so if you want it to thrive and flourish, then you're going to do what you need to do. You're going to figure out ways to make that happen. Not every time you plant a seed, it's going to grow. If you're not doing the right things and putting the right doing the necessary steps, watering it, the right soil, sun, that kind of stuff, you can't just put a seed in the ground and call it, and it's going to do it itself. Like, it's not the way it goes. You have to put in effort, to making that seed grow and become whatever it is that it's supposed to. Taking the time to, educate yourself, focus on it. Like I said, those things, are very key. And so I watched this one video yesterday on YouTube because I got put on to vid IQ a couple months back, and I kind of was, it was in a roundabout way. And so I had it on my laptop, and I was doing it good on there. It has features that are more direct or more compatible with your PC versus your mobile device. And so since I did not have it on my phone, I had subscribed to them, and so they were sending me emails. And so for the past couple of months, I've been getting emails for these different price subscriptions, and there's a sale going on or the discount on this. And so I recently, and this is what having money and having extra money does for a person. You can do things, you're not bound or anything like that. And so it feels good to actually have a decent amount of money left over, And I paid all my bills. This is a big thing for me. I'm not used to it. But so I'm just like, well, there's a promotion for like 30% off, which means that the monthly subscription that's normally, I think, $9 or 11 or somewhere around there. It's only like $7.50 for a lifetime. And I was like, what? And so I did a video before I signed up. I did a video. I watched a video, and it only took me one video. And they really broke down what it is. They compared it to this other YouTube one. I forgot what it was called. But these are for video. These are for content creators, and it's a helpful service or whatever that basically helps content creators make the best out of their videos and what they're trying to do. So there's all these tools and things like that it helps you out with, and so advice and suggestions and all this stuff. And as long as you can really get into the details of your channel and uploading and getting your videos seen by the right people and all this kind of stuff. And so this program is there for you to help the content creators. And so I'm like, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm like, well, I am serious about my channel, and I have faith in my channel. I know it's going to do big numbers. I know it's going to bring in a lot of viewers, and I know that my content is going to continue to get better because I know myself. I know that, this is something that, the YouTube universe or whatever, content creator, is something that I've been doing way before YouTube was even thought of. I mean, I've been doing stuff like this. It's just, it wasn't a thing back then when I was doing it. But I'm not afraid of the cameras. I'm not afraid, and I enjoy showcasing different areas or, whatever it is. And I'm just like, well, if now, in this new day and age, this is something that is a thing, and not only is it a thing, this is something that can replace the whole 9 to 5 deal. It can, it allows me to be, setting my own schedule and doing what I want to do, and, enjoying my life the way I want to enjoy it. It's like really taking advantage of these opportunities that are just here, and seeing outside of the general perspective, of things, and widening your horizons, your thoughts and your visions. And it's just like, there's freedom available if you really want it. And so it's just like, just taking a chance and, investigating and exploring and seeing what's out there, checking out your options. I've already connected with a couple, like 3 or 4 Facebook groups for Thailand. And so that's exciting. So I'm going to be getting and I'm going to start collabing with some peeps, asking questions, getting more general information that I need in the time being. I'm not sure. I guess maybe I might be a little intimidated by the DTV visa and all the requirements, because I'm seeing different YouTubers that have different information on that. A lot of people are they're saying that's the best one to get. And being that I'm a content creator and I will possibly be doing remote work, that is something that is very ideal for me. More specifically, it also gives me the most time in Thailand, with a lot of less hoops to go through. And it's not even that expensive to get that, So I'm like, well, I can go that route. I can do the Muay Thai one, the tourist one. So there's a few options. If I really want to get things going, I can get the tourist one. That's like, mad inexpensive. So that would be the best one or cheapest one. But I'm going to ask more questions to kind of get some good ideas from other people about, what it is that, that they suggest I do based off of what I'm going to be bringing to Thailand upon me arriving. Like, I'm already going to have a good amount of money. Like, one girl was talking about having like 10 G's saved up. And I'm like, what? And I have never heard that from anybody else. And I'm like, I don't know people what's in people's pockets. I'm not implying that at all, but some of these peeps are like in their early 20s. You know, a lot of these are solo people coming from America. And I'm like, nah, be like, I'm not seeing these people having 10 G's and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. Matter of fact, there was one girl, she was barely 20, 21, 22, and she didn't have no job. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, again, I don't know what's in people's pockets. I'm not implying that, but I am going to be keeping it real. Like, I'm not, I'm not seeing these people like that. America, you don't got college kind of people like that, just with bankrolls like that. You know what I'm saying? So 10 G's is a stretch. I would say anywhere between, I could say like around 3 to maybe 6. I would say would be substantial, and that's sufficient. I would think that would be more than enough, just to start, like to have in your bank account. Like that would be, you know what I'm saying. And that's aside, obviously, from your plane tickets and stuff like that. That's obviously aside from that, but that's how much I was planning on doing. Now, I was also considering just having a full 10, a full 10. And that's something that I might still want to do despite that YouTuber. I was already thinking about 10,000 even when I was thinking about going to Brazil. And I'm just like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Because it gives me more peace of mind. I know that I am a very frugal living person. I don't spend carelessly. And I feel that if I'm going to spend, I'm not going to spend carelessly anywhere. Like there might be things that, you know, I might go a little bit more expensive on this, but not so much on that. But that's not, you know, to me, that's not a bad thing, you know. So yeah, so I already kind of know how I'm going to be flowing with this and stuff like that. So that's, you know, but just having a good amount of money just in case. Maybe there's something that I don't know now that I might find out then that might be something cool that I want to spend money on. You know, maybe I want to go travel somewhere else, you know, while I'm in, because a lot of YouTubers, they actually do. They'll get their apartment in Thailand, sign a lease for a year, and then they go travel. They go to the other countries around there, you know, Vietnam or, you know, wherever, you know. So that's something that is very common. And so I'm like, well, maybe I want to do that. Maybe I want to go somewhere else. So who knows? There's a lot of possibilities, and just having the financial means and not being so restricted is a huge thing. It's such a big deal, and it's like, why not? If I can comfortably earn that kind of money here before I go, then I want to. The more, the better. But I have an ideal time where I want to dip. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why adding a second income would really help that out. You know what I'm saying? And let's say, for instance, I have way more than I needed before the time that I'm planning on dipping. Then that's cool too. I still have that time frame, unless I'm just like ready to go. Then I'll still probably stay, because I ideally, now I'm gonna have to recheck my information, because when I originally was I was really originally planning to move around February, because I was gonna go to Brazil, and because of their seasons and, you know, their carnival that happens in January. So now that I'm going to be going to Thailand, I need to check out the best flight, or the best times to come to Thailand, like, you know, in the cheapest flights. So I'm going to be doing that, and then based off of that, that will let me know when it will be better for me to leave. And so we're gonna see how that goes. So I don't want to be coming there during the rainy seasons, preferably. And so yeah, so with all that being said, that might change my move time. It's not going to up it. It's not going to make it sooner. But instead of going in February, maybe I might go spring, summertime. Who knows? So, and if I do, that does happen, that's going to be a big plus too, because allows me to save up more money. And then I would probably exceed the 10 G's, and that'd be great. That really would be great. So anyways, y'all, that's basically what has been going on these past couple of days. Just kind of getting ready tomorrow. That's the big day. I will be having, I don't know if it's going to be a special video, but it's going to be a special video. It's going to be kind of special for me and to me. It's a big video. Because despite the way I look, I'm going to be turning 50, y'all. 50. That's the silver anniversary. My goodness. Blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise. And so, I don't know, maybe not a blessing in disguise, a blessing period. But yeah, man, so my goodness, it's going to be, so I'm going to do a special video for that. Maybe a little reflection and everything, because, and I don't do those, I don't reflect like that every year. It's redundant. And in certain ages for me, I just, it's not a big deal. Like, from 20s, it was a big deal for me to turn 21. And I think then 25, but then after that, it was just nothing. Nothing was, which was significant, about turning 26 all the way through to 30. I mean, that wasn't a big significance, well, I just made it past my 20s, so now I'm in my 30s. I was still really doing the same thing in my 30s as I was doing in my 20s, skateboarding and clubbing, and I think I upped my clubbing. I wasn't doing too much clubbing in my late 20s, I was doing the clubbing. Early 20s, all skateboarding. Yes, that's all it was. So, I was clubbing from late 20s all the way through to my late 30s. I was doing the clubbing until about that. And then it just, no more. So the video for tomorrow is going to be very interesting, because there's going to be some messages in there for a lot of y'all who are almost at that age where, it's almost like retirement age or whatnot. When you're considered, I guess, to some people, middle age, or just people in general, just to let them know that, there's just different levels in this life. And being old is not a bad thing at all, because the younger generation isn't even getting middle age. I mean, they're killing themselves off and dying at a young age. They're not even allowing themselves to experience life yet, really. When you're in your early 20s, you're just at that age to start experiencing real life as an adult, and so, I think of it as, it doesn't matter how old I am or what my age is, every day that I am blessed to wake up is a blessing, and it's not guaranteed. And so, but as you get older, you go through different experiences in life and stuff, and things change. And so I don't want to give too much away, but I want to save that for my video. But it's going to be a really cool video, y'all. I don't know if there's going to be any surprises that I have in the video. There might be. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. So we're going to see. But there might be a surprise or two in this video. So I would not leave that idea out. But anyways, y'all, that's all I have for this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already. If you guys are checking out my videos and you guys are getting any kind of enjoyment out of it, any kind of value out these videos, y'all, please help me out and smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? That helps me out a lot. I'm trying to grow. I think I'm at like 38 viewers or 38 subscribers. I want to get that up to 40. I want to get that up to 40, maybe 45 here in the next couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing some things, to really, help my channel out. I'm going to be doing, educating myself on just a lot of stuff. So I have all this time, and I'm going to be using it to help me out. You know what I mean? Because I'm serious about this. And I want to make sure that people are able to get what they want. out of my channel, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, also hit that notification bell, y'all, so that way y'all are notified when I am dropping my videos. I'm trying to stay true to my game and my word, you know what I'm saying? Give y'all these videos and stuff like that, like every day that I possibly can, because starting next week, I'm not going to have much time to get that done. It's going to be right back to my normal routine and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So less videos for that week and all that. So anyways, y'all, appreciate y'all stopping by, checking out the channel. I'm Real King back at it again, y'all. Y'all be good.